Hello, I'm Chad Larson.
And I'm Barry Berg.
Welcome to Setting the Standard, Conversations with the Berg Larsen Group, a podcast where we discuss questions that are top of mind for upper bracket home buyers and sellers in the Twin Cities metro. Welcome to Setting the Standard, Season 2. We made it. And so this spring, we are going to be talking about the most important things you need to know as you prepare your home or become a buyer in the spring market. So this week, we're going to start it off with the spring market mystique. Everybody wants to know, what about the spring market?
Well, and it's fascinating because when we refer to the spring market, here in Minnesota, we're referring to that time of year when, more often than not, there's snow on the ground. Mm-hmm. And that's true whether you're a buyer or a seller. It is the prime time, typically, that period of time when we see more sales activity than any other time. Buyers come off the holidays and the big game in February, and they're typically a little bored. They want to make change in their life. And when you stop to think about it, it's logical for them because buyers also like to tend to move around the school year. So one of the things that is intriguing is that we find that more sales and close in June than any other time.
Yeah, that's why when we talk to buyers and sellers, right, we talk about that post-big game, mm-hmm. right? That's when people start to put their properties on the market. And there's not as many going on the market. So that's one of the nice things, right? If you're coming into the market as a buyer, there are fewer other buyers in the market, and that makes you more competitive. And likewise, when you're a seller, then there are fewer other competition on the market. So you're able to have less competition for those buyers that are out there.
Actually, though, for sellers, and we get asked this all the time, hey, how long may it take me my home to sell? Mm-hmm. Well, that's largely a function of seasonality. If you can get your home on the market by March or April, mm-hmm. you're not going to sit on the market as long as you would otherwise. Because, again, buyers have begun looking typically by early to mid-February, and they're ready to make housing decisions and buying decisions by March and April. And they're not worried about whether or not your peonies are popping and look great. Every other house they're looking at is much the same. The landscaping is dormant as it is to be expected.
Yeah, you want to be on, as we've talked about before, in preparing your home for the market, right? Diligent speed to get mm-hmm. your home ready. And so the more specific your home might be in terms of style or higher in price, then the earlier that you're on gives you the longer selling season. Right. But that March or April really is kind of that sort of sweet spot, and you'll see that where many properties coming on the market, and that reflects in when homes are sold.
Right, it does. I mean, I think that's where for sellers, every seller is correct that his or her home is going to look better with the leaves on the trees and the grass green. I tend to say that Minnesotans behave like they've never seen warm weather. And this looks like we're having that kind of winter where they'll definitely be ready for spring. And so having said that, as a seller, you want to try to take advantage of that period of time when you have less competition, when buyers are serious. There are more serious buyers in the market at that point in time. And if you stop to think about it, the typical buyer for a single-family home is someone of childbearing age. So it's whether or not they have children, we've all gone to school, and so they're looking to make moves around the end of the school year.
That seasonality,
very much, very, very strong seasonality.
Yeah. And so with that, right, we see the most new listings in the marketplace in May, and the most number of closings in June. Which makes sense, right? So there's from the March and April listing time frame, peaking up to May, you've got buyers making offers in April, early May for closings in June. But what's interesting is that when you list in May, that's a little late. It's a little risky. Notice that the most number of closings are not in July and August.
Right. And bear in mind that, if somebody's putting a mortgage on the property, lenders are going to want at least 30 days to complete that. And most sellers, in the perfect world, would like the better part of 2 months to vacate their property. And that's why, if you're a seller, to the extent that you can get your property ready for the market by March or April, you're going to be able to take advantage of peak demand. At the same time, understand that most sellers don't fully appreciate how long it might take for them to get their home ready for the market. And so it's never, well, let's put it this way, you give yourself adequate time to get that home ready.
I think we're going to talk something about that in an
we
upcoming
probably
episode,
will.
so stay tuned.
Right. So, and again, all we would say is that the spring market, and we laugh when we use the term mystique. The mystique about the market is that what we consider to be the spring market is that period of time, is not when the grass is green and when the leaves are on the trees and when your flowers out.
Or when everyone else is coming to the market.
No. You want to try to beat others to the market.
Our clients have seen success by being on the market early. And that's post big game, excuse me.
Right.
And then, but
well, and I don't think we can say it. Yeah, we really can't say it strongly enough. When a seller or a homeowner approaches us and they're considering going to the market, we get asked all the time, how long is it going to take me to get my home sold? That is really very much a function of when you get to the market. Because if you go to the market during that March, April period of time, you're probably going to be sold within a 30 to 60-day period of time or less. If you wait until late May, June, July, summer months are on the quiet side. Buyers are enjoying summer and outdoor activity. And so just know that it could take you a lot longer to sell. And generally, the sooner you sell, the better value you get for your property.
Right. And we'll talk about pricing as well. So thanks so very much. We really appreciate you tuning in. And so stay tuned next time where we'll talk about preparing for showings. Rain, snow, or shine.